So you just have to believe me.
That's where we just came from, outside of Dublin Castle.
It's written on a plaque.
Jonathan Swift born up there.
But this is part of the old medieval wall here that used to surround Dublin. This is one of the only remaining examples of the old medieval wall that used to surround the old city of Dublin. This wall they started to build in 1204, okay? And it stayed up for over 400 years. And it was built for protection because there was all these Celtic clans coming down from the Dublin mountains chopping people's heads off. So they started building this wall. So if you lived inside the city wall, you paid the city tax and you got the protection of the city. But if you lived outside the wall, this area was known as the Liberties because it was free from tax. But you could wake up with no head, you know? So that was a catch-22. But the wall stayed up for over 400 years. And the other perimeter of this wall was along the south side of the river, so along Temple Bar, along the river there. So the whole of the original city of Dublin was all on the south side of the river. So where we started the tour today did not exist back then. The north side didn't exist because they didn't have the bridge building technology across the river. So around 1660 they did have that technology, so they started knocking down the wall there in 1660. And they started building bridges on the Liffey, which started on the north side. And that's when they built Grafton Street area, Stephen's Green, 1663, that big park at the top of Grafton Street. And they built over the rivers at that time as well. So the river Poddle was covered with sod. So when Guinness set up their brewery here in 1759, that was about 100 years after the wall came down, they set up in the heart of this area, the Liberties, because they didn't have to pay the city taxes. It was good business. And they built their own wall around the brewery, and they got a 9,000-year lease. 9,000-year lease for £180. Best real estate deal in the history of real estate deals. That's a poker game job right there. Stake me another 100 and I'll give you a 9,000-year lease. And these houses were built by Guinness for their workers straight ahead. So if you had a job in Guinness, you got one of these as part of your job. And you could pass the job on to your son, your next of kin. So it was important in those times to have a son so you could leave your Guinness job to your son, keep it in the family. We're going to take a left up here, guys, and at the next lights on the right, you'll see St.